Oh, thank you so much, Christine. And you guys, it's so funny. I'm looking at myself with my glasses, and I'm like going, grandmothers are actually doing that. They wear glasses. Surely, if I'm still halfway hip, I still don't have glasses. Well, you know what? I do. And we kind of laugh in Arbonne because a lot of us are wearing reading glasses now. And so I thought, you know what? I'm looking duplicatable. So that's what's so amazing about this. Well, let me just share with you just a little bit on how I got signed up. Christine definitely let a little bit out there. I actually just signed up to get my products at cost. And I was a stay-at-home mom, and so I was wanting to be there with my kids, where I knew that's where I was supposed to be. But of course, you know, it's hard to live in today's day and time. And so that's so interesting. Did someone just come on?
Yes, Susan.
Hi, Susan. We're going to mute you out. No offense, but they're just kind of trying to mute the background noise, and so I think you are one, and I mean that respectfully. So this is the first time that I've done the Zoom, and it's been so nice. And I see some people smiling because we all are alike. We definitely going, okay, Zoom, and so that way we definitely see and kind of hear different things that we're doing. So anyway, let me just tell you a little bit how I got signed up. Of course, I was telling you that I got in to just get my products at a discount. And I was a stay-at-home mom. And at that time, 25 years ago, my kids were toddlers. Now, how many people are online that have kids, they have children, maybe in elementary school, and just at home, or they're older maybe. You know, my kids are grown now, but when I signed up, they were toddlers. And so it was just awesome because I was able to still stay at home with them. And what's so interesting now, the one thing too that I really like to discuss whenever I'm signing up, people, is I really want to let them know I had a big fear. I did not want to talk in front of people. I didn't want to do this. I had a negative attitude about network marketing. And you guys, that was just me not knowing enough. And I think there's so many people that we've introduced to Arbonne that they're just like going, oh, I would never do one of those network marketing things. And it's like going, you got to understand, you need to be doing one of these network marketing things, because you're able to do that as you're actually also doing your family and your lifetime during the day. And you're introducing people to our awesome products. Now, that's one thing that really impressed me a little bit. As you know, our products are pure, safe, and beneficial. You guys, that's what's so awesome. Now, years ago, 20 plus years ago, since when I was in, we just had the skincare. And our skincare is awesome. But you know what? Our health and wellness line is awesome too. So that's what's so amazing about over the years, that Arbonne just keeps adding more and more things, but knowing that they're health and pure. And that's what's so nice about this business. So that's what's so nice, is just kind of like going, who else can I talk to? Now, what's so interesting is that you don't want to be, one of my biggest obstacles is I thought, I don't want to be pushy. I'm not going to tell people I'm doing network marketing because I don't want to let them see me as the pushy salesperson. Now, how many of you guys have said that to yourself? I mean, it's so interesting because I think the most normal person feels that way. And that's what's so interesting, is that one thing that we're always been encouraged, and we encourage our team, is the first thing is to get on the phone and schedule get-togethers. We have an awesome product, and that's what's so interesting, is that we definitely do the get-togethers. That's one way. But, you know, a lot of times people go, oh, I just can't get people to book. I just can't get people to book a class for me or a get-together for me. And I say, you know what, go and send samples, call, and definitely connect with them there. You guys, another thing is I love going to lunch. And so I go a lot of times with one-on-one people, and I talk to them over lunch to let them know a little bit more about Arbonne. Now, what's so interesting is that Christine talked a little bit about our kids all going to the same private school. People looked at us and they just didn't want to have any part of it. But what's so interesting is the more white Mercedes that kept pulling in the parking lot, the more people were just like, well, what are these ladies doing? Oh my gosh. And it's just sharing things with other people. Now, one thing that we actually do sometimes is that, like, it comes back to that personal growth, and we talk about that a lot. You guys, we need to quit looking at us as the victim. We have a gift, and the products alone, but with this business along with it, you are sitting on an unbelievable thing here with Arbonne. And you got to believe that. And I think that's very, very good. And one thing that we definitely start with, as far as I'm kind of going down through my nose, is we could actually talk about the ABCs of Arbonne. You guys, that can stand for a lot of things. You know, and I know you've heard training that definitely has done that. Well, I always like to try to start with the A of being attitude. You guys, what is our attitude? What attitude are we showing for our children, our families, our husbands, our sisters, our parents? That's huge. And a lot of times people don't realize, are you real positive or are you more negative? And you know what? You got to really look at that and work on that. Now, one thing that we really encourage people to do as you're coming into this business, whether it is just to get your products at cost or really to dabble with this business or go full blown. That's what's so interesting. The personal development books that we talk about, that's huge. You know, that's one thing that we really talk about is first thing in the morning. Yes, I spend my time with the Lord, but then I go straight to the personal development book right after that. And that's what we have to continue to let us believe in what we're doing. You guys, this works. And one thing that I'm so glad about these Zoom calls, I really want you to see, and we look duplicatable. You guys, we all come from all different types of life. We have different families, you know, grown kids, as Christine and I have now, you know, and it's just so interesting because it's like there's so many different parts of life. Now, another thing too is if you guys think about it in today's day and time, not 20 years ago, but in today's day and time, men are looking at this as a business. There's men and women actually that are doing it together. That's what's so amazing about this is that you can definitely do that. Now, you know, of course, my husband and I have done training for Arbonne over the past, and my husband's very supportive of me now, but guess what? He was not real supportive in the beginning. And I think that's what we have to keep remembering. Our husbands, our family are watching. They're not going to believe until they see results. And that's what's so interesting is that when we're working on this business and you're working with your sponsor or your upline, look at that and look at the people that you're bringing into this business. What are your whys? Everyone's whys are different. And it could just be make a little extra money. And that was the big joke with me 20 years ago. We had one of our ENVPs. She goes, Martha, can you tell us again why you signed up with Arbonne? And it was just to make a couple $100 extra a month because I knew I just wanted to be home with my family. And you know what? After over time, as I continue to kind of talk to people and work with people, you guys, we build relationships. We women are very good at that. And that's what's so amazing. I love to meet different people. I love to meet people from different parts of life and what they're doing. I actually have a team that might be on our call tonight, and they're up in the New England area. And you guys, that's what's so interesting. I sponsored someone where I'm living here in Texas, that she sponsored a good friend of hers. Well, that good friend had her good friend up in Rhode Island. And now, of course, I don't know if she's on the phone or not, but one of my area managers is from Rhode Island, and we're almost best friends. And that's what's so amazing about it. It's like, I would have never known them if I wouldn't have really introduced my friend here in Texas to Arbonne. And look what happened. Now, is my good friend in anymore? No, she's not. And so that's where you have to make sure that when you're introducing people, 8 out of the 10 people will tell you no. Know that that is normal. You got to keep sorting. And that's what sometimes when we're first getting started in this business, we try to convince the people that we love. We try to convince the people that we care about. We know how Arbonne can change people's life. But you know what? People, it has to be their time, not yours. And so that's what's so interesting about it. Another thing that we talk about is when you sign up with Arbonne, of course, you want to work on your attitude. You guys work on your belief. And like I said, you do your personal growth books, read them, and have those relationships with your sidelines, your upline, everyone around that do Arbonne. You never know. There might be someone different than your sponsor that you relate to. And guess what else? There's someone else also that's down in your success line that they've been introduced by their upline. And I love them. I'm seeing some of the new people here on the call tonight. And it's great because I love those people. And it's so neat, the friendships that you develop. And that's what's so neat about it. I would have not known those people either. And so that's what's so nice about this business, is that we can really work on doing this. Now, one thing that I really want to emphasize whenever I talk about personal growth and kind of what we're doing with this as a business, and we want to work on relationships with our upline, our sidelines, and things like that. You guys, I really want to encourage you guys to dream a little bit, because a lot of times people kind of come back around and go, oh, Martha, honey, if I would have only been doing this 20 years ago, maybe I could be where you're at. You guys, the majority of the people and the NVPs in Arbonne are people that have been in less than 5 years. That's huge. So it's not just something that I was very fortunate and lucky back 20 years ago. There are people getting it all the time. But you know what? We're our biggest enemies. And that's why I really want to challenge you whenever I'm telling you about dream a little bit. Really dream. And that's where, yes, we're having our conference coming up in April. And I know that there's several of you guys that will be at GTC. You guys, this is huge, because when you're around each other and other people that you're really looking at and kind of continue to kind of building friendships with and things like that, I'll never forget going home from my first, back then it was called MTSs. So it was a manager training seminar. And now it's like global training seminar. Do you realize the different countries that we're in? What you're seeing now, it's not going to stop. We've just got started. And that's what's so amazing about it, is that you might not know anyone over in these other countries, but you know what? Someone that you introduce Arbonne to, the products, they might introduce it to someone that's over in the UK or in Canada or in Australia. You guys, sometimes that can sound kind of out of reach. Please, please, please dream, dream. And that's, like I said, the biggest thing is that we want to work on our personal growth. We become more of what we were. And that's what's so interesting and so huge about doing this business. So that's one thing that I definitely want to encourage you guys on, is to do that. Now, another thing that, you know, we talked to, Christine talked a little bit about that 2 of the top 15 of my success lines that are 2 of the top 15 in Arbonne. I personally sponsored them. And you guys, one thing I want to say, that I don't mean that for bragging, but I totally want you to see that. The first person I sponsored, I went to my old job. How many of you guys have jobs, or you had jobs? I went back to that job and I took samples. And guess what? There was new assistants working there. And guess who one of those new assistants was? Cecilia Stoll. You guys, Cecilia Stoll is unbelievable. And you know what? She was a secretary, an assistant in the same company that I was. And see, I'd already quit. I already quit to start staying home with my kids. But you know what? When I thought, I'm going to do this as a business, go back to the old jobs that you had and really look to see, who am I going to go to lunch with? Who am I going to talk to? Let's kind of see. And you guys, one thing that at the uplines we do a lot of 3-way calls, and we're talking just 15-minute calls. And that way, if you kind of let someone or have someone and you call in with me or your upline, and we actually spend 15 minutes just letting them see we're real people. It's not like that we have something that no one else had. We are real people. And so that's what's so interesting is that Cecilia and I built that friendship and it just continued to go on and on and on. And like I said, it was so nice to be there. Now I've had a couple of other people. One of my other VPs is in Edmond. And she was so awesome. She's like 3 generations deep from me. And we're very good friends. But you know what? I would have never met her if I wouldn't have worked with her sponsor to go out and share Arbonne with everyone. Well, guess what? That upline's not in anymore either. And I'm saying this to encourage you. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I really am, because we have to keep remembering the majority of the people we talk to are going to say no. And that's why you've got to keep going on. And that's what, whenever we talked a little bit about me having 2 of the top 15 people direct to me, I went and talked to him again. Well, then I went talk to him again. Well, then I went talk to him again. Do you see how that relationship kept me following up again, just to kind of be connecting with them a little bit? And both of the people that I'm talking about, of course, Cecilia, well, of course, one of your uplines, Carlita Nelson, was one of the top 15 that I actually talked to about Arbonne. And it's just amazing how Carlita and I laugh about this, and we've talked about it all the time. I shook her because she was my neighbor at the time, and I loved her kids. And I could see the good that it would do for them. But she didn't see it. She had a good paying job, so she couldn't see it. But you know what? I cared about her enough. I wanted her to see this. Not everyone, like I said, 8 out of 10 people are going to tell us no, but you never know where you're going to find the Cecilia, the Carlita, Jackie Mammon, Tammy Clinton, Carlita, it's Christine Cleveland. Everyone, you guys, we're just talking Arbonne and talking about what this business does. And you guys make your contact list. How many of you guys have a contact list? I hope you do. But look at those names. And there's so many that you'll go through again and again. Keep remembering that some people that you're introducing Arbonne to now, here in about 3-4 years, they might be in a whole different place of their life. And then they're going, Martha, how is Arbonne? Okay, how is Arbonne doing? Oh, it's great, it's fantastic. And they're going, are you kidding, really? And that's where, because they ended up getting let go. You guys, with our government and our oil and gas right now, if you're in this part of the country, there's a lot of people getting let go. They're losing their jobs. And one thing that I want to say, hats off to men. I love men because they get it. And we women are we're our biggest enemies. We look in the mirror and we're just like, oh, okay, I just don't have what it takes. Stop it. I have a friend that used to always say that. She'd say, stop it, stop it. And you guys, I really want to encourage you to do that same thing, because don't be your worst enemy. You've got to dream. You've got to be a Martha McIntyre. You've got to be a Carlita Nelson. We're real people. Real people. Christine Cleveland, Tammy Clinton. We're real people. And so I hope you see that. And that's one good thing about these Zoom calls, is that you guys all get to see me, whether I have glasses on or I don't. So that's where I'm kind of trying to look duplicatable here. But that's what's so amazing about it. It's very interesting to do that. So make sure you make your contact list, and you're going down through there. Go down through there. And you guys, please be willing to be coachable. I've had so many people over the years that they're not coachable. They were like, well, Martha, I'm not a stay-at-home mom. I can't do what you do. Who said I was a stay-at-home mom is why I did what I did. And that's what's so interesting, is that when those people do that, turn it over and just go on to the next person. We had a training one time, and it was so awesome, because the training was, some will, some won't. So what? Next. You guys, that's huge. But sometimes we stop and we look in the mirror and we're just like, oh, I don't know if I deserve it. You guys, dream a little bit. Look at what we've done and see that it's duplicatable. if you're willing to work, get an activity, go talk to the people that got let go. I know that your upline does this with you guys as well as I do it with mine, is the 15-minute calls. Have people call in and let's talk to them. Because they might, a lot of times people say, oh, well, it's already happened. Oh, it was 20 plus years ago when your upline did this. No, there's still people less than 5 years out, 3 years out, 2 years out. And keep remembering, you guys, we are worldwide. We're in several countries. We haven't stopped. It's going to continue to keep growing. Why not let the U.S. stay where we actually honor it? And that's in the United States. And so that's what's so amazing about it. It's just like, it gets very exciting. Can you tell I get very excited? And it's not just because, yes, I have the income that Arbonne has brought to our family after 20-something years, but you guys are all a part of my success line. I love you. I appreciate you. And I want it for you as much as what I had it for myself. So that's what's so interesting. Now, Christine, I want to go ahead and give it back to you. You said something you wanted to go over some things before the end of the call. Was that good for y'all?
Yes, Martha, thank you so much. I know Heidi and I are both so grateful, and I know everybody on both your team that is on, because I want to welcome your team on here tonight. I know this is your very first Zoom, and so we want to welcome them. But I know we're so grateful, Martha, that we got to sit at your feet and that you would take the time to pour into every one of the lives. And I know there will be plenty of VPs that you will be attending car presentations this year that are sitting right here at your feet. And so I'm really excited about that, because that is those are your babies and those are your generations that just because you said yes and you didn't quit. And so we're so grateful for that, because that inspires us to never quit. But I want to say a couple things before we wrap it up, and then I'll turn off the recording. But I want to encourage every one of you. Tomorrow is close day of February. Do not quit before midnight Central Standard Time, or 10 p.m. Pacific Time, or I think it's 1 a.m. if you're on the East Coast. Don't quit. Don't quit. Keep going, because what your goal is for you yourself to do 2,500. Then teach your team to each do 2,500, and you keep going. Don't stop. Don't let your team discourage you. If they're slowing down, you speed back up. They are going to follow their leader. And I want you I want to encourage you also to not forget to earn your global training conference fee back. You can do that by sponsoring 2 new consultants this month, with a $350 order under them personally. It's a one-time bulk order under that brand new consultant. You have 2 of those, you're going to earn your GTC conference. And if you've already paid for it, they're going to rebate that back to you. So don't give up on those things. We have some very exciting things happening on our team, and Heidi and I are going to introduce this week, so be looking on Facebook for the new book that we're going to start introducing to you, that we want you to get, that we are going to dive in, because we know that the way to get successful is to fill our toolbox up with skills. And so the way to do that is with personal development, and we have to grow us, and we got to learn from other people. School is never out for us, and this is an easy way to do it, through a book. And especially when you've got a group like us, we can do this book and learn from one another and kind of put input together. And really, we're going to gain a lot more out of it than we ever would by just sitting all by ourselves and reading this book alone. So be looking for that. But next week, don't miss, because we are going to have Miss Mandy Woods, who is down under in Heidi's team, and she has been growing and exploding her team, and she is going to come and share with us what she's been doing. And really, I think it's going to speak to you, because Mandy has had a business that went just like this, like every business does. And she's going to share with you what she's done to kind of get it to go on that upward bound way, because she wants to be a VP this year. Before I wrap it up and turn everything off, I want every one of you, when you get off this call, to spend 15 minutes and focus on what you're going to do tomorrow for your business. What is it that you're going to do for your business tomorrow? Get that contact list out like Martha talked about. Share. Go to coffee with somebody in the morning before you go to work. Meet somebody for lunch. Grab a coworker for lunch and say, I want to share this with you. Meet someone after work. Make a couple phone calls. If you need to offer your discount to hit that goal, do it. Give that away. We're not here to sell our products at retail. We're here to sell our products at the discount. We want people to know that they can have a great discount with Arbonne. And lastly, I don't talk this very much, but there's a lot of brand new people on here. If you only have $600, $700, $800 in your success volume because you just began and you're thinking, oh my, I don't think I can get to $2,500 by the end of the month, you push, but no matter what, at least get yourself to 1,000 in your personal so that you can add that to whatever you do next month and you don't lose that and don't leave that on the table. You keep going and you keep fighting, and that'll put you on a great push for March to go and finish district in March. So just because you're brand new, you can also go into qualification. And you talk to your upline about that. You text Heidi and I. You let us know, and we will give you a plan. I love each and every one of you. I know Heidi does as well. She's been traveling. She's been with her husband, which is the beauty of doing Arbonne, because you can do it anywhere in the world. And so I just want to thank you so much, Martha, for being on, and thank you for your team to be on tonight. And I'm going to turn our recording off. I love you guys.
Thank you.